Hello, everyone. This is Ben Dunn, founder of Anarchic Press, a small publishing company founded in 1985, coming up to our 40th anniversary. Also, creator of such works as Ninja High School, Warrior Nun, Tomorrow Girl, Bikini Sentai, and many, many more. So, I watched Godzilla X Kong, and it was good. I mean, it sort of like was the anti Godzilla minus one. It was just straight up goofy, over the wall, loud fun. And, sometimes that's a good thing, The theater I was in was pretty packed. I would say it was about 3/4 full, which was not bad for a 5 o'clock showing on an Easter Sunday. And everyone seemed to have a good time. People were laughing and applauding and cheering things on. And, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes a movie just needs to do what a movie is supposed to do. It needs to entertain. I went with my wife and my daughter, and they are what I consider normies. And they said they loved it. They thought it was, fun. My own thoughts is that it was, a straight up, good old fashioned popcorn movie. I mean, there was some good story elements in there. I mean, the one thing I did like was that it went at a very, very fast pace. There was probably no wasted moment in that whole movie. I mean, there was no slow, slow scenes. Everything was just over the top fun. When I was watching it, I sort of got Michael Bay vibes. It's almost as if Michael Bay had directed a Godzilla movie. Well, I mean, it wasn't, all that. The only thing missing was probably the patriotism that you always see in Michael Bay movies. There was a few lines of dialogue were sort of like anti-military, but for the most part, that didn't really bother me. They were just fleeting lines that actually sort of fits the character that they were portraying. So it wasn't in your face kind of dig. So it was overall a very fun movie. I mean, I'm not going to do any spoilers. Basically, it's a movie about two giant monsters, and fighting other monsters. It sort of reminded me of the old Godzilla movies where he would team up with other monsters like Jet Jaguar or King Caesar to fight another monster. So it was definitely sort of in that vein. Of course, Godzilla is definitely the star of the show, but he actually doesn't appear nearly as much as, say, Kong was. All Godzilla was just an instrument of destruction. It seemed almost like if the filmmakers just relished destroying iconic buildings and cities. I mean, for some reason, Godzilla must be a tourist because he went to all those different cities, and just to stomp them. It was kind of cute, but it seemed like, the only city that was missing was Tokyo. It would seem like that would probably make the most sense, but hey, and also I noticed there were a lot of no Asian cities that were being destroyed, like Beijing or any of those others, like Pyongyang or Seoul or anything like that. So it was definitely Godzilla on a European side of things, and it just surprised me that how fun this movie was. It was as good as the previous movies. Yeah, I would say so. I think the filmmakers finally decided, what, Godzilla is supposed to be just a fun monster movie. We don't need to get into the political arena. We don't need to get into, trying to change the world. We don't want to, try to insert any type of, agenda in there. Let's just make a good old fashioned stomp 'em, high destruction monster movie. And I think it pulled that off. I think it pulled it off really well. Kong was definitely the main star. In fact, he should have been the headline. He should have been Kong X Godzilla instead of Godzilla X Kong. But hey, I'm not the marketing guy, so I mean, Godzilla is definitely the headline. It's like it also reminded me of sort of a wrestling match. It's almost as if the monsters were more like wrestlers than monsters. Because Godzilla in the movies has always been this slow, ponderous beast. Because due to his size, there's no reason for him to move fast because he's pretty much nigh invulnerable. But I guess in this version, they make him a little bit more vulnerable, and a little bit less indestructible. And so, I guess he has to move a little bit fast. Because it just seemed to me that it didn't really make much sense. I can understand. See, that was the main advantage that Kong had, was that Kong was fast and stealthy and highly intelligent, while Godzilla was slow and ponderous and, didn't need to worry about having to move fast, But, anyways, I recommend it if you are a Godzilla fan, if you're a giant monster kaiju fan. That's always funny to me that people start using the word kaiju now. And another word, a Japanese word that has infiltrated our English lexicon. I mean, used to be we just called them giant monsters, but now it's kaiju, to mean giant monsters, just like the word manga and anime have infiltrated, our language, so to speak. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Take it for what you will. I mean, I'm not trying to push anything on you. If you do enjoy giant monster movies, or and just want 2 hours to be distracted and have fun, then you couldn't go wrong with this movie. So anyway, that's all. That's it for now. So if you like what you hear, you can like and subscribe. And until next time, this has been Done signing off.